All right, Thorpe. He cleared waivers, and he's back on the practice squad. Nico. Hill, Dorsey, Wiley, Castle, they will not practice. Baldwin has sore ham. He's going to be limited. Cyrus Gray is ill, and we sent him home. Sean Drone is still limited. Rapati is still limited. Lilja is limited. And Kendrick practiced yesterday, but we're still watching him. And so that's the injury situation. Now, as far as Tampa Bay goes, Matt is not going to play this week, so we're trying to put the focus on preparing for Tampa Bay, and we got to start on that yesterday. A couple things we'll clean up from yesterday's work, and then we're going to move on to third down today. So that becomes the main focus, working to try to be competitive and trying to give ourselves the best chance to win. So with that, I'll open it up.
Quinn, is that your decision or the doctors just haven't cleared?
The doctors have not cleared.
Regarding Kendrick Lewis, Romeo, you sounded kind of pessimistic that he won't play this week.
I didn't say that.
Did he show you yesterday with pads on what you needed to see?
To a degree. You know, there's no real hitting, you know, so it's one of those you really won't know until you get to the game or he gets to play.
You've talked this week a little bit about the difference in your game plan, Brady versus Matt, which one's in the game. As a defensive guy, I'm just curious, how much does your game plan differ just based on who the other quarterback is? You know, Josh Freeman's a different quarterback than Phillip Rivers, than Joe Flacco. And how big of a part of that is it?
Well, you have to look at the opponent and look at their weapons to see what they have, to see what they try to do, and then you have to adjust your plan accordingly. You know, and it varies if there's a huge difference in abilities. You know, say for instance a running quarterback, or if you have a running quarterback, you need to have somebody assigned to the run, or you need to have a rush pattern that can contain the guy. All right. If you have a pocket passer, then you don't have to worry about the run as much, and so you can work on the rush pattern that can get the most effective rush, because generally he's not going to run.
I guess too, I'm wondering, you know, there's certain throws that quarterback A can make that B can't, you know, and probably vice versa. Is that part of the checklist too, when you go through the coverages that you're going to play against?
Yeah, well, when you look at them, you see what they do, and you can see what throws they're making, who's catching the ball, you know, and what routes they're running, and those kind of things. And you try to defend that.
Romeo, Stanzi is one snap away from having to play Sunday. You confident if he has to go into a game that he's ready to play?
I'm confident in the fact that he knows the system. He's been with us, and he's experienced as he's going to be, you know, and that's not going to change in a couple days.
How does a guy get better? Is it possible for a quarterback to get better being in his situation, not getting much work in practice, just going through the meetings basically and all that?
Well, no, yeah, you can get better with your skill set, because he gets to work against the defense, and he gets to throw, you know, against Flowers, against Berry and those guys, and even though you're not running, quote, your offense, you still have to deliver the ball so that it has a chance to be completed. You know, you still have to hand it off, and you know, by osmosis, there he gained some experience by doing that.
I know it seems like everybody was disappointed by him during training camp and preseason. I mean, is he tough enough to handle that, to bounce back from that kind of disappointment?
Sure. I mean, he's a football player, and all football players have disappointment in their careers and in their lives, and part of being a player is being able to get up off the ground and bounce back.
With where he was at the end of camp, was it maybe a good thing that he was able to step back from it a little bit and not have that pressure of having to play for a few weeks?
Well, you know what, I think that the situation there was that he had another guy ahead of him, you know, If he had been able to maybe get more reps, he might have developed a little bit quicker. If he had realized that he was the guy or was one play away, things might have been a little bit different for him. But as it turned out, he was the number 3.
Do you, when you're out there on the practice field with your scout team, is the scout team coached to play as best they can, or are they simply there to mirror what the other team's going to do?
Well, they try to do what we anticipate the other team is going to do. And that's why they're called the scout team or the show team.
Romeo, what are the differences between Brady Quinn's skill set and Matt Castle's?
Well, they have similar skill set. They both can throw the ball. They're both tall quarterbacks. They're both experienced. I think the thing that Matt has more game time, and that's the biggest difference, actual game time in the game. Now, Quinn has been in the league, and he's been on different teams, and he's seen other operations and how things are done. I think that he's excited about this opportunity that he'll get, and I think that he'll make the best of it.
Is it hard for a guy that hadn't, got a start in a few years, to blow the Cobbs out, or is he still kind of, you feel like he's, when he gets to start this week, is he ready for it, or is there a certain, since he hadn't done it in so long? I know if you haven't done something in a long time, it's.
But you might not have ridden a bicycle for a long time, but as soon as you get back on it, you remember everything you need to remember, and I think that would be the same way here.
So playing quarterback in the NFL is like riding a bike?
Yes, exactly.
With the game plan, do you try to maybe ease into it a little bit? Do you feel like a handful of plays you got in the last game is enough to, as he said, get the rust off, or will it affect the play calling maybe early on, safe plays, maybe a couple safe throws, things like that?
I think we game plan how we think we need to play the game, and he can make the throws. So if we feel like that shorter throws are better, then we'll have shorter throws. If we feel like deeper throws are better, we'll have deeper throws. If we feel like running the ball is better, then we'll run the ball. And that's what we have to do to give ourselves the best chance. If the guy wasn't a worthy quarterback, he wouldn't be in the NFL,
Anything else? Tampa's been competitive in each game, although they've lost 3 of them. What do you see them bringing to the table, both sides of the ball?
Well, I see them playing a competitive game that kind of gives them a chance to be in the game and have a chance to win. They showed some resiliency last week because they were behind with the Redskins, and they came back and got ahead, and the Redskins had to kick a field goal at the end to win. So defensively, they're disruptive on the defensive side of the ball. They got speed and a strong-arm quarterback on the offensive side of the ball. I expect it to be a competitive football game.
Do you feel that it's tougher when you go against a team that's coming off a bye? Or have you noticed in your career that team maybe is a little more prepared, rested, whatever?
Different teams play it differently, Some teams are rested and excited and fresh and ready to go. Some teams are rusty, and it takes them maybe a half to get going. So, you just don't know really what to expect other than the fact that they're going to have fresh legs.
What, heaven forbid, but who's your third quarterback?
Do I have to divulge that? No. It'll be a player of another position.
Are you getting one player ready for that, or several players?
No, we got one player that we've been kind of working with all along, because the situation has been the same, the whole season. And so the guy that we...
Secret weapon, is that what you're saying?
He could be. Yes.
Offense,
Could. Oh, offense.